there my lovely crafty friends, it's Terry again from Vegas Creates, back with another card making video. I'm very excited as I purchased this My Favourite Things card kit. And it contains lots of cardstock, heavyweight cardstock in different colours. It's got a gorgeous stamp set with a big U and then lots of sentiments that coordinate with it. It includes these different foliage and flower stamps. And then it's also got the dies to cut out the floral and foliage images, and also 3 different versions of the word you. So there is like a solid block letter and then 2 scripty ones of varying sizes. So I'm gonna just dive straight in and have a play with these today. So yeah, I'm really excited. It's a gorgeous colour palette, and it gives you some examples of different kinds of cards to make. But I am wanting to make more birthday cards because I don't have enough in my stash. I seem to have lots of sort of thank you and grateful for you and things like that, and happy retirement for some reason. I think I had this kit and this one stamp set and just used it to make loads of retirement cards. But anyway, so I quite like this design, happy birthday to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these pieces of nice cardstock, and I'm going to stamp up some images and then colour them using alcohol markers. I mean, the stamps do come with stamps so you would stamp the black outline and then you would use this other stamp to add colour, and it just adds colour to the centre in these types of flowers, and then with the tulipy looking ones it adds colour to the whole thing. But I just feel like doing a bit of colouring with my alcohol markers. If you're a regular to my channel, you'll know I like my alcohol markers. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to stamp out these images and be back in a moment with some more progress. So I've cut out a panel of the cardstock. It is really lovely actually, nice and thick and smooth, and I have cut a few more, I've stamped a few more of the foliagey type elements than the flowers. And I'm just looking at my little handy dandy colour chart to see what colours I feel like going for. I'm thinking I might go for jade greens and green turquoise for the leaves. Jade green and green turquoises, and I think I'll go for hydrangea and pink violet for the flowers. So yeah, so I'm just going to do a bit of quick colouring here. If you don't want to see me colour, feel free to skip forward through this bit. I've got a handy tri-blend pen with the colours JG1, 3 and 7, which is handy. And I mean, these are only small images, so they're not like highly detailed and would take ages to colour or anything like that. So it's going to just be quite simple colouring. And it's really nice that this kit came with the dies to cut out the elements, because I don't mind a bit of fussy cutting, but when there's small elements like this with things like stems and the odd leaf here and there, it can be quite tricky to fussy cut that out. And it just saves a bit of time, makes it more of a quicker card to make. Yeah, that's just the usual way that I would colour with my alcohol markers, going in with the lightest colour first, then a bit of the darkest colour, and then blending that out with the mid-tone, and then going back over with the lightest to blend that out even further. So even though, you know, they're only small areas, I'll still follow that process, and it just gives it a sort of nice rounded look. I love colouring. I find it really relaxing, and you know, when you're doing it, you're just focusing on that. You're not focusing on anything else, life admin, or you know, anything else really. I just love colouring. And then it makes me happy, and then it makes other people happy when they receive a nice card that's been handmade just for them, or handmade and then chosen by somebody for them. I always try to stamp handmade with love, or handmade with heart, or 100% handmade, something like that, on the back of my cards. Sometimes I forget, so when someone asks me for a card and I find one out of my stash, if I've got one that is suitable in my stash, I'll always make sure I go and stamp that on the back, so that people know that, you know, it's handmade. It's nice to have that just additional little thing on there, and there are quite a few sets out there. There's a nice one by Christina Griffiths that I like. It's got handmade and then with a big heart underneath it, and it's also got sentiments that are really nice for envelopes, so things like happy mail and stuff like that. So I really like that one. So I'm going to colour this in exactly the same. So I've coloured the other stamp, the same one in jade green, and then I've picked up a tri-blend that I've got in green turquoise. So I'm going to use that for these ones. So again, this is, the colours aren't as spaced out in this one. It's just GT 1, 2 and 3, so there won't be as much of a contrast, but that's okay. And again, if you're one of my regulars, you'll know I'm sort of using my favourite colour palette today. It's just one of those days where I just feel like it. Do you ever find that you just, when you use your favourite colour palette, it just feels so nice, and you know, just brings you joy. Do you have, like, does anyone have like a favourite colour palette, or are you, or ones that you just tend to reach for often, or do you love all colours equally? Be interested to know, because I think I often do reach for the same sort of colour palette, but then actually yesterday I was looking through my box of cards, my big box of cards that I've made, because my friend and neighbour needs a card for her sister, from her, and then one for her sister from her son. So she wanted one with to her sister and one with auntie on. Hence again me realising I need more birthday cards. I definitely so now. And actually looking at them, I do use a variety of different colours, but I do really like these sort of aqua, teal, or pool, I think, as Jennifer Maguire would say, pool colours. And I love like purples, and I say more so pinks recently as well. It's just really funny because I am the exact opposite of a girl that likes pink. I was never into pink as a child. Was into like unicorns and stuff like that, but never sort of pink and frilly and stuff. Never been like a girly girl. Although I do look a bit like Rapunzel at the moment. Get me to a hairdresser. But yeah, I just I don't know why, but I just really like pink at the moment. pinkish tones as well, and I think they go nice with the, it's just a nice extension to the sort of my autopilot colour palette, to add in some pink. And also corals, I've been sort of experimenting and sort of thinking more about coral as well. I suppose it's just sort of as you get older, maybe your tastes change, you know, eating different kinds of foods, liking different things. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I don't tend to use blue a lot, and I've got a theory as to why that is. I think it's because my school uniform was navy blue, so I don't really like navy blue. I loved school. I was one of those weird children that really liked the learning aspect of school and tests and exams and stuff. I was a bit of a nerd. I've always loved learning, so I loved that, but I didn't like having to wear a uniform. So I sort of have a bit of an aversion to the colour navy. But I do like other shades of blue, like paler shades, like periwinkle and those sorts of colours. So yeah, so that's my leafy bits. Oh, I've got leaves on there to colour as well, haven't I? I think I'm going to go back to the jade for those. Oh, actually no, I'm going to colour those in once I've decided what colour to do the flowers. So what did I say? I said I was going to use hydrangea. So I think I've got a blender pen in hydrangea, so I shall use that for this one. I want to make this quite a clean and simple card. I do quite a lot of those actually. That is, I guess I kind of haven't figured out my style yet, or whether I have like a rigid style. I do like cards that have got white space on them. I definitely do. So like clean and simple cards. But I do like, I've made a few interactive cards recently, which I've really enjoyed. In fact, I've got in my little, I've got a little washing up bowl that I bought specifically for dumping in stencils after I'd used them, which I haven't used yet. So it's currently storing dies that I've bought and have not used yet. So ones that have arrived just over the last few weeks in my no spend March, which went really well. I think I've spent more this month than I did last month. So I'm definitely doing a no spend April. But it was, do you know what it was? It was Craft Stash. It was Craft Stash this weekend. So now it's Monday the 29th that I'm filming this. And at the weekend, Craft Stash had such a mega deal on. If you spent £20, I think it was, you got 20% off. If you spent £25, you got 25% off. And then if you spent £35, you got 35% off. And I also get an extra 10% off that once that money's been taken off. So not 45%, but you know, an extra 10% off that. And so I treated myself to some things that I would never normally buy, because I won't buy, you know, like certain things at full price. I very rarely buy anything at full price. So I thought I'll treat myself to a couple of things. I had a look around, and I've got one pack of Altenew artist markers. Now obviously I'm using my Spectrum Noirs, which I absolutely love, but I also do love the Altenew artist markers, and they normally I think 35 or 36.99. So I treated myself to a box of those, and then something else. Oh, a distress oxide, because I'm trying to build my collection. I've got a speckled egg on the way. And this, it was on all weekend, so I kind of went back and bought a couple of other things, but it was basically, and then I also had some reward points, so I think like an order that should have been like £80 was like £40. So then I went back and bought a couple of extra things that I'd been wanting, like some cover plate dies, like a pinprick cover plate die, and some DL dies, because I haven't got any DL dies, and there's also a stitched one that I'd seen Jennifer Maguire use, and I really liked it. It gives like, because I love knitting, I haven't done any in a while. I think paper crafting and card making has sort of taken over really, but I've got so many crafty hobbies. But yeah, so this die does like rows of different types of stitching, and as soon as I saw it in Jennifer Maguire's video, I was like, oh my god, I love that. And they had it on the Craft Stash website, and I think it was like around £20, which, you know, I couldn't justify normally, but I thought, oh, just go for it. And also I wanted some metallic watercolours. Now I've got some golden ones that I used in a recent video, the autoimmunity awareness hop one. I used them in that, but this pack was like all different colours. The one I've got currently is just golden ones. Oh, just, I mean, it's beautiful. It's a great set, Gansai Tambi. But yeah, so I treated myself to that as well, and then there was this well, I don't want to give too many things away because I am going to do a craft haul, but yeah, so basically I was a bit extravagant, but I am definitely going to rein it in. I know I've been saying that for the last couple of months and I haven't, but I will, honestly. You guys understand, crafters, you know. I think it's funny, like, I've heard people say like crafting is one hobby and then buying craft supplies is another hobby, and it's true. I really think it is, because I do love, you know, and it's like often, you know, I'll do a bit of window shopping, or, you know, I'll get bargains on eBay and things, but Craft Stash, if you haven't checked it out, they do ship worldwide. I'm pretty sure that they do, and that they have like really good offers on all the time. Right, what's going to go nicely with that? I think it's the Jade Queen. Yeah, so I had the time of my life shopping this weekend. I ended up spending quite a bit. So it's like the money that I get paid on the 25th of the month. So the money that I got, that I'd put straight into my savings like a good little girl, like I always do every month, I've had to take out of my savings now and put into my actually allowed to spend on, you know, necessities like food, shopping. So I won't be saving anything this month, but I will have some wonderful happy mail coming, and I will be able to make a lovely craft haul video for you. So I mean, it's for you really. If you think about it, it's quite a selfless act of me, you know, to buy these craft items so that I can make a video for you. Don't you think? Definitely not, you know, trying to find any vague justification for my purchases, but, you know, I think it's funny as well, that because I've always been quite thrifty, and it's like I've never got into any debt, and you know, like when I got into card making, I sort of, when I, you know, I got into it, like I really got into it, and I just, wait a minute, what was the other colour that I said I was gonna use? Hydrangea and pink violets. PV, pink violets. Yeah, when I get into a hobby, I really big time get into it. So that's what's happened. And obviously with card making, you know, there are lots of sort of essentials that you need, but then there's just things that you just want. And I do buy a lot of stuff secondhand. I love a lot of the American brands, and it can be really tricky to get hold of them. But I'm so impressed that Craft Stash have started selling some of the American brands that I really like Altenew and Pink Fresh Studios and Poppy Stamps. I haven't got any of their stuff. I don't know if Craft Stash have only recently started selling them, or whether I just hadn't realised, but like things that I've seen like American YouTubers using that I thought, oh, that's really nice. I've not seen anything like that. It's available, and I have bought from, I think there's Seven Hills Crafts as well. I've bought, I think that's where I got my Hanging with My Gnomies stamp set, which I absolutely love. I seem to remember this particular blend being a bit tricky to blend, this particular pen, tri-blend pen. Yeah, because when you try and blend it, it like waters it down in a way that I'm not too happy with, but I'll persevere. And this is good for you to see as well, like if you're new to colouring with alcohol markers. If you're not, just fast forward it a bit, because obviously then I'll get on to once I'll cut this out and then, you know, make the composition and stuff. So, you know, if you're not interested in alcohol marker colouring, just fast forward. But I think this might be quite helpful, you know, just to sort of, because if you are having trouble, I don't know what it is, like certain colours just blend really well and others just don't. But this is how I approach it. If I'm having this sort of problem, just keep going over it until I end up with a result that I'm happy with. I think I'm happy enough with that. I'm going to have to go in with my colourless blender pen and get rid of that bit where I've gone over the lines though. So yeah, once all of my goodies have arrived, which should hopefully be like by the end of the week or the beginning of next week, probably, I would imagine, more so. I'll do a March craft haul video. So it'll probably be in the first or second week of April, sorry. But obviously I've got my tonic craft kit unboxing and making videos that I like to do at the start of the month when I receive the latest tonic craft kit too, which this month looks lovely. I mean, they're always lovely, and you know, the products and stuff, they're amazing value. Right, so now I've coloured all of my images, I am going to remove the little bits where I've gone over the lines with the blender pen as best I can, and then I'm going to cut them out with the coordinating dies, and I'll be back in a mo. Okay, so I've progressed quite a bit further. I cut out all of the little pieces, and I've still got loads left over here actually, so enough to make another card. I've decided to keep it very clean and simple. So obviously I'm using the die here, but I'm going to cut that out of this lavender coloured cardstock a couple of times and mount it up for some dimension, and then I'm just going to have the flowers and foliage poking out from it, and then I'm going to use the happy birthday to sentiment underneath the U. I know technically, you know, it might be better for it to be up there, but I think it'll be fine there, and just keep it nice and clean and simple. But what I am going to do is do a bit of light distress ink or distress oxide ink blending behind this area, so it's sort of like a little focal point behind there. So I decided to go for some Distress Oxide in Cracked Pistachio. I ummed and ahed between Cracked Pistachio and Tumbled Glass, and settled upon Cracked Pistachio because it gave a little bit more contrast. So I'm just gonna sort of try and get a nice soft blend sort of from the middle behind the foliage. And I've also cut out of the black cardstock included in the kit 2 layers as well, and that's for a shadow layer, so it's actually going to end up being 4 layers thick, the word, but that'll give it some nice dimension. But I'm pleased with the composition. It's just a very clean and simple card, really. So I'm just doing this just to give it a bit of a nice soft blend. Although I've gone in a bit heavy there, but it'll turn out fine. There we go. I know that does look a bit patchy, but I think it'll be okay once it's dried. And I say I managed to get a few little smears of both of the oxide inks on there, but the stamp, the happy birthday sentiment, will be over that, and the words will be here, and then with the foliage poking out. So I'm happy with that. So I'll see you again in a moment with the finished card, because you don't need to see me gluing the bits and pieces together. So see you in a moment. And here we go, my crafty friends. We have the final article. I'm really pleased with how this card turned out. I added some shimmer with my Nouveau Aqua Shimmer pen onto these flowers. I also added the same shimmer pen onto the U, the large letters, and I covered that over with tonic crystal glaze to give it this beautiful shimmery and sparkly effect. So I'm really pleased with that. I think it turned out really well. And then just 3 sequins, which I believe are called Jeweled Jade by Tonic Studios. And because I was having so much fun and I had all my supplies out and I had so many of the die cut elements left to use, I decided to make another card. So we also have this another happy birthday card to add to my stash. So very similar, well, the same colour palette. I've even used the same Distress Oxide, the Cracked Pistachio. But I used this older Spellbinders card creator die set. It's an A2 Filigree Delight. And it's got this lovely frame, and then you can it's got an oval die to cut out the centre, and I've used it several times, and it's really pretty and intricate, and it looks really nice once it's inked up. So I cut 2 of these from a not particularly thick cardstock, but it does give it a bit of dimension. And then I arranged the die cut elements in a way that I was happy with, around on the inside, and then I stuck them to the inside of the frame here, and then just cut away the edge pieces, and then once they were adhered, I adhered the whole of the front panel onto this. This is just a regular A2 tonic white card blank. I then put Happy Birthday to, and then the stamp set does have a U separately. It's slightly difficult. You can't get it any closer to that, so there is a little bit of a gap there, but it doesn't really matter. I decided to add an exclamation mark there. And then I did a sort of like double banner, double fishtail thing there, and I used the darkest colour, or the mid colour from this section, from the jade greens, and just coloured a piece of card and backed the sentiment with that. And then I've added a few small faux pearls onto the back of that. So all in all, I'm really pleased. I've got these 2 lovely cards in my favourite colour palette, and and 2 extra birthday cards to add to my stash. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, maybe picked up some tips and techniques. Please leave me any comments or questions that you've got down below. I'd love to know what you think of the cards, and if you've got a favourite. I think I'm leaning slightly more towards this one, to be honest. I'm loving these big bold letters. I really am. But yeah, so there we go. And as always, if you like the video, please use your thumbs and give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed but you like my content, then please consider subscribing and also clicking the little bell so you get notified when I release a new video. So that's all from me. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see and speak to you soon. Bye.